we got to go back to work. We don't have $5 million. Hey everybody, it's Emily, and this is my response to Suze Orman's recent declaration that if you want to retire really early, super early like we did, you better have at least $5 million, preferably something more like $10 million. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're starting your career at around, between age 20 and 22, and you're planning to retire by the age of 40, but even 50, how many people are going to be able to make it to $10 million, even $5 million, even if they're using a smart investment method like the permanent portfolio? Not a whole lot of people. So basically what Suze Orman has done is shot down a whole lot of people's dreams. Oh, by the way, I didn't realize that my husband and I are part of a movement. It's called FIRE, Financial Independent Retire Early. Wow, we're part of a movement. Yeah, but boy, she's killed a whole lot of dreams right there. Well, I'm here to tell you today that I disagree with her. Here's why. Now, some of you are thinking about inflation, and when I first saw that headline about the $5 million, I thought she was talking about inflation. Well, the article I read about it really wasn't about that. I'm going to address the inflation issue and early retirement, especially super early retirement, like we did when we were in our early 40s, in another video. Okay, so let's set the inflation issue aside. It's not as huge as an issue as people think anyway. But apparently Suze Orman's deal with it is, what if you get cancer? What if a catastrophe happens? What if, all these major things, what if this major horrible traumatic thing happens and you only have $500,000 or even $1 million, and all the medical bills will end up costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, I will give it that life does happen, and really bad stuff can happen to some people. But ladies and gentlemen, do you know how insurance companies make money? How are insurance companies able to pay out thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars to individuals? Because stuff like that doesn't happen to most people. Now, I know there's people out there that want to say, well, Emily, 1 in every so many people, so many women get breast cancer, and 1 in so many people get cancer, and blah, blah. Let me tell you about cancer. If you're doing the right things, especially if you start relatively early in your life and you're doing the right things, if everybody was living right, they were eating the right foods, they were not smoking, they were not doing all these other things that increase the cancer risk, if everybody was doing that, then probably 10% of people who get diagnosed with cancer now would be diagnosed with cancer, maybe even fewer than 10%, and that's a whole lot fewer people. Cancer is 90% preventable if you're doing the right things. Of course, life isn't perfect and things do happen, but you know what, Suze Orman? There's this website called GoFundMe. There are Facebook groups that are created for the specific purpose of helping raise money for people in tight spots. Now, I'm not saying that we should all retire at age 40 and then live stupid because we know we can go get money from other people. I'm not talking about being exploited that way. But I'm saying there are ways of raising money if a huge financial crisis occurs in a person's life. The other thing is, somebody who is retiring super early, well, they're young enough that if they have to, they will be able to go back in the workforce. If there's a couple and one of them, say, is disabled, well, one of them can go out in the workforce. Now you're going to tell me, well, now that defeats the whole purpose. Maybe so, but what I'm saying is that when you retire at a younger age than 55, 50 years old, there are options. There's also this thing called, I think it's called catastrophic insurance that specifically covers acts of God, things that are nature, natural disasters. And if people are really worried about that kind of thing, they can buy that kind of insurance. It's cheaper than regular health insurance. So, I understand where Suze Orman is coming from, but she has a video entitled Why I Hate the FIRE Movement, F-I-R-E, Financial Independent, blah, blah. Girlfriend, hate is a really strong word. Hate? Really? You want to see people continue to work in careers and jobs they hate just because you think they need $5 million? I think we need to back off and kind of broaden our perspective here. Suze Orman does have some points, but they are points that can be counterpointed. We can counter them. First of all, catastrophes won't happen to most people, and second of all, there are resources. There are always resources available to help people out. I'm not going to tell you how much money Jerry and I have investments. It's none of your business. However, it's not anywhere near $5 million, and we are not worried about it. Every year, let me back up here. I need to backpedal a little bit because some of you are thinking, yeah, you live in the middle of nowhere where property tax is practically nil and you live frugally and blah, blah, blah. We could have stayed in our 2,100 plus square foot home in Plano where the annual property tax is currently over $3,000 a year. Plus, we could have gone on a couple really nice vacations every year. And guess what? We still would have been ahead of the game. We still would have been able to live a nice lifestyle. Yes, paying the city utility bills that keep going up. We still would have been able to retire in our early 40s, stay in Plano. Things would have been a little tight, but I want to let you know. Now, if you live on the East Coast or the West Coast, I mean, all bets are off. Presumably, I don't know, do people make enough money to make up for the ridiculous cost of real estate? I don't think they do, but anyway, I'm not talking about extreme situations, okay? I'm talking about you're living in middle America where the cost of living is reasonable, okay? You can live a decent lifestyle if you're smart with your money for under $50,000 a year and not feel like you're sacrificing or living like a pauper, a forced pauper. We chose to come out here because we wanted to be out of the city. We wanted to live somewhere really pretty. We didn't want neighbors a spitting distance away from our houses. We wanted quiet. We wanted all the different things that living in the country brings. So what I'm saying is we're not living, we don't have no running water in our house and deal with compost toilet and, frugal and never spend any money because we're just worried because we don't have enough money. We have we're not spending, I'll just put it this way, we're not spending nearly as much money per month as we could. And even if we were still in Plano, we would have some cushion. So I just don't want anybody to think that, well, you're just living frugally, that's why you can do it. No. I mean, you don't want to be stupid with your money. If you're going to retire super early, you need to know how to be wise. You need to be wise with your money. But Suze Orman, $5 million to retire early? Nah. You do need to sit down and figure out what you do need. Count the cost before you make that huge step. But if you've been freaking out because of what Suze Orman says, if you think she's shot down your dreams, just, go back to the drawing board, wipe the slate clean, do your own figuring. Don't count on Suze Orman. Don't count on any other guru to figure out your life. That's so good, I'm going to say it again. Do not count on any other guru to dictate how you live your life. Thanks a lot for watching. If you appreciated it, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you for the next video. In the meantime, take care and be well.